Hello, welcome to the stream. My name is Bones McKay, and this is my wife, Earl.
Hello.
Okay, you can do your thing now.
How are we doing? Welcome to the stream.
Ursula's asleep, guys.
God, I just want to go back to bed.
Oh my god, Ursula, every time.
Oh,
Hello,
yay.
Essie Chan, Lucid. Oh no, that's the. Not gonna try. Grace Day, Just Abby, Hydrangea Eyes, Mouth Plus, of course. Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome one and all.
Yeah, to this fabulous occasion.
Happy Thursday. We're almost done the week. Living for the weekend. All that good stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not okay, guys.
She's
Hello Jem. Hello Will. How is everyone aside from Ursula? Let's start that again. Bones, how have you been doing with Nano? I've been doing terribly with Nano. I've not written since last Friday. So, we're gonna have to work on that. Maybe
Mhm.
catch up.
Mustard?
I've been working on YouTube. I need Ursula to make me some gosh dang thumbnails so that I can have a steady release of YouTube clips
He's made so many.
such that we attract new people to our audience.
Yes.
You know, don't you think?
Grow the channel, as it were.
Yeah. Time to get a growth on this channel.
Bones had a writer's high and then burned out.
Hell yeah, I did.
That's the way.
Ursula,
Yes?
I demand that you tell me a story, be it about your day or otherwise.
Oh goodness.
Tell us something.
No.
Let's engage her. Let's make her be engaged. Come on.
I didn't do anything today. Actually that's not true. I almost cried this morning because I was so stressed.
Okay, this is starting out with a banger. Let me see.
I was so peppy yesterday. I don't know what happened. I just woke up today and I was like, stress. But I was like, I don't know. I think this week I've just had so many meetings. Like, I'm introverted. I'm an introverted person. And I'm coming to realize I probably have trouble with executive function.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many meetings that every time I'm like in the zone getting work done, they were getting interrupted by like a meeting I had to go to. So I wasn't getting as much work done as I wanted, and I was like crying because like I was like, I can't. How get work done? I'm bad. Clearly, I'm an awful person if I can't get any work done. So I was looking up strategies for like problems with executive function because I couldn't focus, and like every time I'd try to work on something, even when I did have like a big block of time to work on it, like I just wasn't focusing. I was like zoning out. And so I went looking and they were all like, do a Pomodoro timer. And I was like, dang it.
I know this.
I know this. Tell me something new.
Fix it.
I just want like a magical trick that'll make it happen. And there is none.
There isn't any,
No.
unfortunately.
I mean, I did learn some interesting things. Like
Such as
because it was like people with like executive function troubles can find motivation when something is like pertains to your interest, is novel or new. What was the other one? I think like if there's like a time crunch.
Yeah.
So that's how you can get like motivated to do things. So I was like trying to find ways to like create like novelty, where it's like maybe I'll go sit in a different chair
Yeah.
while I work. Maybe that'll help. Or maybe I'll put on some new music or something. I don't know. I did okay. I got some work done. And then me and my coworker at the next meeting were talking about how we both have trouble with executive function. He was like, same.
I'm loving this story.
Thank you. It's very engaging, I'm sure.
I'm just doing behind the scenes things right now. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll forgive you this time.
Okay, good.
I know everyone has a different process, but how much of the story do you two get done before storyboarding? A significant amount or the whole story? It depends on how long the story is. Because obviously if we're doing like a short comic, then generally Bones finishes the script before I start thumbnailing and storyboarding. But I find that longer ones, Bones has like a good idea of where the story's going, and he has like lots of experience writing comic scripts, so an outline is enough for him generally to give me like a few chapters to start drawing. But if you're first starting out, I definitely would recommend writing like as much as you can ahead of time. Because we've had people come on here and say that, like, you know, they started their comic and then discovered that it was going in a whole different direction than they thought it was going to go. Which is totally understandable because the writing and creating process, things change. So having as much pre-written as possible can really help you from not getting to that point of like, it's not what I wanted it to be. What do I do? So yeah. Writing your script is a good idea. But also if having the whole script written is stopping you from doing any work on it because it feels so daunting, then just start storyboarding. Because if you're storyboarding, like, that stuff can change really easily because it shouldn't take you very long to create like a little thumbnail sketch. So totally no problem to make your storyboard and then your script changes and then you change your storyboard. Like, that's totally fine. That's totally different than like having a full color comic page that you have to redo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps, little mango.
I'm still doing things. I need you to keep this
keep
up.
vamping. Oh god.
Yeah, be the vampire.
Atachi vampire. Unless you're June. If you're June, you thumbnail literal illustrations. Literally, don't be like June. Thumbnail sketches? I'll show you what a thumbnail sketch should look like. This is a thumbnail sketch. It's really quick. It's basically stick figures. That's it. Don't do... See, what I'm doing here on this page, this is pencils. This is the sketch. Your thumbnail should not look like this. They should look like little wigglies and squigglies and stick figures.
100%.
Or
I agree.
I'm coming to your house and taking your comic away. I'm putting you in baby jail.
Gay baby jail for all of us.
Exactly. I like writing, but I don't like scripts, so I'm experimenting with a detailed outline. Any tips for outlines?
I'm busy.
We'll come back to this. Bones is busy.
I'm fixated on something.
Do you guys have any art questions? I can field those.
Yeah, it has to be art questions.
I don't do the righty typey.
You do.
I do. In secret. It's not very good. I guess it's not secret because I've told people I do writing sometimes.
It's true, you do. You do.
I do.
You do the writing.
Yes.
There
That was
we
very
go.
helpful. Ah, that's good. Start off with a general outline with important plot points. Sometimes it does get daunting. It really can be. Stories are hard, man. Writing is really difficult. I don't understand how Bones keeps all the things aligned in his brain. Because I cannot. I want writing advice from Ursula. Okay.
Yeah, Ursula's writing advice. Let's go.
Help. My writing advice. your characters should have bad things happen to them that they don't recover from right away.
Wow.
Wow. That's one thing I struggle with is like I always want my characters to have like a good time. So like I probably should write fluffy stuff, right? But that doesn't always make for an interesting story. You need to have your characters try things and fail and have bad stuff happen to them. The villains need to win.
Let the villains win.
The good guys need to lose things and
Their pocket change.
and disappoint their friends and family sometimes as they struggle to improve as humans or creatures. They don't have to be human. And have a hard time because that makes an interesting story. Good things happening and conflicts being resolved immediately does not make an interesting story. And this is why I have trouble writing villains.
Villains is hard.
I have so much trouble making mean, bad things happen in stories. I'm like, no, I don't want them to be sad. Other writing advice. Describe things.
Wow.
I know. It's great stuff. What are some underrated visual elements that you think not a lot of people consider, such as using certain colors to depict certain emotions? I think stark contrast and using heavy shadow should be utilized more. Also, I think everything should have a pink and purple palette. Thank you. No, I think heavy shadow is really good. That's actually something that really helped me with my inking, was leaning into doing heavier shadows and not being afraid to like cover up some of my pretty art by using like silhouette and dark shadow and high contrast stuff.
God, I forgot how to spell Charlie.
And
Okay, I'm testing something. Chat, tell me if this works.
does it work?
No, it didn't.
Didn't work.
We need the furry check to work. Come on.
But oh,
Did it work?
no,
No.
it didn't. I'm sorry. I got my
It was
hopes
just
up.
refrigerated cartoons talking.
But yeah, I don't think using heavy shadow is like underutilized in general. I think it gets underutilized by like beginning artists and people with like I guess a certain style too. But I just like it. I think it should be used more. Let me see. Clap in chat
I'm
for
setting
us,
up the
that's very
Charlie
advice.
bot. Yes, you figured me out.
I'm starting a webcomic. I'm doing thumbnails now, though, and I wonder if there's any tips you guys have for spacing the panels. I'm worried about them being too big for phones or too small to read. I'd recommend, I'd make a test page if I were you. And size it down to like phone size and stuff, because that was a problem that I know, like this one guy, I can't remember his name. I know his first name's Mike. But anyways, he's a traditional artist and he does comics, and he tried to switch to digital, but he found that like there was just too much ability to really zoom in and do these like tiny little details that he normally like wouldn't do on paper, and it made his paneling like really detailed and it didn't print well at all. So I totally understand that like it can be hard to judge unless you like test it. So in his case, he needed to print it and see how it looked. So yeah, I'd recommend work on your thumbnails. Maybe do a test page where you go further and do like pencils and inks or something, and then try it on like a little mobile size, and see how it looks. I'm sorry, that feels like a really boring answer.
Let's go.
Um,
The furry check is not working.
no.
It's okay. we'll figure it. We'll figure it
We'll
out.
get a little chat bot. Listen.
I'm
in
listening.
In digital, every pen becomes a brush pen, in my opinion. I like more crisp lines. Yeah, that was one thing I really liked about Clip Studio Paint, is it had some, like, actually really crisp, inking tools that didn't always feel like a brush pen. I appreciate the advice. Okay, good. I know, sometimes people ask stuff and I'm like, let me give you this really boring, disappointing answer. It's like when I was looking up the executive function stuff, where I was like, don't give me boring answers. I want the magical thing that solves it.
Sorry, what?
How long did Sovereign run? From 2012 to 2017? Yeah, because it was 5 years that we worked on it. Yeah. Asking to know how much of my life to waste away on my first comic. Yes. As much time as you want. Some people are still working on their first comics and they're like 10 years in, so that's fine. Ursula, who were your art inspirations when you were younger, and who are they now? What look would you want your style to be if you achieved the highest potential? Oh, dang. So my art influences when I was younger was like, I really liked the artist of D. Grayman. I loved, Koei Kun's art. He has really cool stuff. I love Gigi Gigi's work, who does Cucumber Quest, which we're always talking about.
Did Cucumber Quest? That's over.
Sorry, you're right. Did Cucumber Quest. Who else?
Who else, Ursula?
I really like the King of Thorn manga.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my inking goals.
Tell us about it.
It's so good.
Tell us more about it than just that. Why is it good? So I find with a lot of manga, I mean, part of it is I read a lot of like shoujo manga, and romance stuff, which is a lot more like light and fluffy, but I find it relies heavily on like screen tones and really light line work. Like everything is very white and very like light and airy feeling, which is great because like I love it for things like, you know, Sailor Moon and stuff. Like it's beautiful. But I found with King of Thorn, which admittedly is like a horror action comic, it didn't rely a whole bunch on screen tones, and it used really stark black and white, and it also has like a cool story that I really enjoyed. But yeah, really, really cool stark inking stuff that I really enjoyed. Flashing me back to D. Grayman. I know, I loved that manga. It was so good. Oh my god,
Did
it
it work?
responded. It just took a long time.
Thanks, Nightbot.
That was very incredibly delayed.
That was so delayed.
Nightbot, slow. Okay. We're gonna be nice to Nightbot.
Ursula, did you start out drawing panels traditionally and then transfer them to digital? It's much easier for me to plan out panels like that. That's how I started. I went fully digital after a while, but with Sovereign, I'd pencil everything traditionally and then I'd ink and color digitally. But I found it was just faster for me personally to switch to full digital after a while. I think it's Procreate if I wasn't wrong. I think I missed the question.
There we go.
But I am working on
It's
Procreate.
working. Proud of you,
hi.
Night. I gotta work on it, okay? This
Okay.
is what I'm working on.
Hi, Nightbot.
I'm trying to replace Charlie. This is our Charlie replacement.
Yes. How do you keep getting past the fear of showing other people your comics? I never get this with my other art, only my comics because they feel so personal. I feel that way about my writing. And I'm fine showing people my art, but as soon as I show people my writing, I feel so nervous. So I totally understand where you're coming from, where like sometimes it's really hard to show like your stories, and I'm sure other people feel this way about different like art stuff they work on. But I totally get you. I think it might help to show it to like someone you trust, because putting it like in front of like a whole bunch of people.
Oh my god, that's too fast. We gotta work on this.
Nightbot, come on.
Nightbot, chill. No one's talking. Wait, it's not enough talking for this.
You replaced Charlie O'Cacklin. We don't need Stinky Charlie.
We don't need Charlie. We got Nightbot.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Oh, right. Showing to someone who you know will be like kind to you is probably a good stepping stone to like showing like the world your comics. Because what will probably stop you from ever sharing your comics is if you share it with people like who will jump to like criticizing you when you're not ready yet. So definitely try to soften your first experience showing people stuff as much as you can. Like show it to your friends, show it to your significant other, someone who's gonna like hype you up. Because I'm sure your comics are great. You just gotta show people who love you, you know? I'm looking at King of Thorn. They have very big shapes with their almost inverted black and white. Yeah, exactly. It's a really cool comic. I really like it. Ursula, assuming you read webcomics, what webcomics were you most sad about that went on perma hiatus? Oh, Lord.
Magpie. Definitely the magpie.
Scourge of 9 Point. I remember I was pretty sad when Hannah's Not a Boy's Name went on hiatus.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, because I really like that comic. And I know the creator has like moved on to other stuff.
Yes.
That's whatever, you know, it happens.
It happens.
We've been
do
there.
be kind of happy. Okay, I'm here. You can re-ask your writing questions.
Someone was asking
Who's
for tips on.
texting me?
Someone was asking for tips on detailed outlines.
Oh, it's
earlier.
UPS. USPS. Sorry.
Oh, it's USPS.
The boys in blue. Sorry, I'm checking something.
Well, never mind. He's not available for you.
Oh, I am. I'm listening.
I'm trying to think of other webcomics that went on hiatus. I really liked.
It's in transit to the next facility. What does that even mean? I don't even know what I ordered.
I remember that comic. That's so old. I feel less old. Listen,
Bones does not
I'm
love
an old
me.
lady.
Listen, I love all of you equally. Okay, tell me.
Bones.
Yeah, tell
A
me.
question for you
Mhm.
was: How
Mhm.
do you work? Would you have any tips for detailed outlining for your comic?
Frick. I don't do that though. You want to do outlining instead of scripting, right? I don't. Answering questions is hard.
Wait.
Um.
Our friend does colors for Castle Swimmer, I think.
Yeah.
Doesn't Tass do that?
I think so.
I think so.
I think they were working on that. Blah blah blah. So, outlines. Okay, outlines.
Hmm.
What are they? They're an outline of what you're writing.
Wow.
You just gotta write good, and it'll be good. Like, stop laughing. I'm trying to speak.
Sorry.
Let the man speak.
Let the man speak. You're right.
Right. So, damn it, I lost my train of thought. Outlines are good. How do you write them? They are. Oh my god. I guess what I usually do with an outline is I start with a very overarching outline that has all of the major plot points written out. And then I start filling out more and more of the outline as I go. But that's actually a lie too, because sometimes I don't even have the ending in mind whatsoever, and I'll just outline the next few scenes that sound interesting to me. I never really do very detailed outlines because, like, you were saying that you get bored doing scripts. I get bored doing outlines. Like, I skip that and I go straight to the script. Because scripts are so, like, minimalist anyways that it really doesn't matter. Yeah. I'm just such a discovery writer at this point that I just don't understand how outlines work. I'll sometimes have like a few scene ideas written out. I can't even imagine doing it for comics, guys. Like, more power to you if you can figure it out, but I like to have an idea of like what each page is going to be, because each page is sort of like an arc. I guess you could go one by one explaining what arc of each page is going to be, but at that point, like, just write a script. I feel like you guys like bend over backwards to not write scripts by writing these quote unquote outlines, and I look at them and they're always scripts, every single one of them. Okay? I love you. I'm sorry, I have no clue. I have zero answers. This is going to make a top tier YouTube clip. It's going to be titled like how to outline, and the answer is I don't freaking know, because I'm not an outline boy. My trouble formatting the comic page. I know some of the panels are defined by how long you want the reader to look at them, but from there I have no idea how to place it at all. That sounds like an Ursula question. Instead of getting bored writing, I get bored drawing my comic. Okay, we get bored at all sorts of different points.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on my outline right now.
Oh no.
Well, why are you stuck? Like, do you not know where to go? Or do you like you have to determine where you're stuck. And sometimes the best thing to do is to write a bunch of bad ideas. And eventually one of them will stick and move you in the right direction. Stare at your wall, paint your room, and watch it dry. That's a good way to like get your outlining done. You really just gotta think in space for a while.
That's true.
Don't let yourself get distracted by thinking about anything other than your writing. I like to walk in a circle, take a shower, like anything that gets me in the zone, and no one can look at me or I will lose my train of thought. Yeah. The simplest thing is beginning, middle, and end. But like, and when I approach writing, I usually don't go for like beginning, middle, end. I just keep writing scenes that add more and more conflict. And I'm learning to like do the conflict slowly, so I have something to build off of, but not too slowly that it's boring. It's really hard. I love outlining. It's my absolute favorite. Yeah. Outlining, you get to be like, oh, no, it's not going too fast. I'm going to pad it out when I actually write it. You know, you can like write, oh, and then there's a bunch of trial fail cycles, and you hand wave it away, and then you have a problem to deal with later.
Yes.
Heck yeah, those bad ideas. Exactly. Get your bad ideas out so they stop showing up on your page.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Half
That's
of writing
actually-
is just writing. Did you know that? Only half.
What I find fun, it's frustrating but fun, is like when you're trying to figure out the next thing to happen. So you write out like what would be like a stupid thing to happen? What would be totally out there and annoying? You just write a list of like different possibilities, and eventually you come to like an okay one that could happen.
Cincinnati. Sorry, my package is in Cincinnati.
What the heck?
That's Ohio. Ohio.
Get out of here.
Was it? There's a scented candle company, and all of the scents. They have a scent for each different state, and Ohio was a scentless candle. Most on brand.
Wow. Someone asking about where do you place your panels. So the point of like panel placement, I mean it also mingles with like your composition inside the panels, but your goal is to get from the top of the page to the bottom of the page and bring people to the next page. So any way you direct your panels, it should be focused on like making sure it's legible, people can tell what panel they want to look at next, and from there you can really play around. You can do totally like, you can do circular panels, you can do rectangles and squares. Rectangles and squares are like the easy ones to do, they're the safe bet. You can do like wild shapes, you can do panel-less stuff, as long as you're making sure people can read through the page and know where to look next.
I just want to say that my package has just left Jamaica. It's on its way.
Ooh.
Jamaica being the International Distribution Center in New York.
Oh.
Every time I get something from the US, it has to go through Jamaica first, which is always really confusing when I get the update, and then I'm like, oh, right. Anyways, Ursula, I do have a question.
What?
If you look at OBS,
Uh-huh.
can you see the music making enough noise?
Yes.
Yeah, like, does it go up at least like half an inch?
Yep.
Okay, because when I was editing our last video, we
Oh, it
had
was
like no music.
too quiet?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make sure that it's Jamaica Queens. I guess I don't know. It's in New York. I don't know anything about it. I just know there's an international distribution center, and I always have to wait for my package to leave there, and then I know it's through customs. It's finally gone through customs. Because sometimes it'll sit in Jamaica forever. And I'll just be like, please. How dare my therapist charge me?
How dare?
She always says it's super late, too.
I think my charge is like at the beginning of the session.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
She's on top of it.
Mine forgot to charge me, has forgotten to charge me twice, and had to email me am I can I do both charges, or is this gonna
Destroy you.
is this gonna ruin your credit card or something? And I'm always like, it's fine. So it's fine.
Do your worst.
Yeah. So what you're saying is your therapist has more executive functioning than my therapist.
Could be.
Fight.
The first time she tried to charge my card, it didn't work, so she's like, I'll do it after.
That's
And then
fair.
it took a while.
I can't believe yours charges before session.
That's just what she does. Maybe it's just how she remembers.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know. I have no idea. Today's gonna be a really chill stream, I have a feeling.
Yes. We're just here to learn things about comics, work
Mm-hmm.
on our comics, just have a chill time.
Yeah, 100% chill times.
Bro, dear therapist. Which one?
I'm more and more sane because my therapy appointments get further and further apart. Shout out to me. Well, while Ursula gets less sane as they get closer and closer together. I'm 2 clicks away from becoming an $8 patron. Well, it's a
Ooh.
really good time to become one because the deadline for long form submissions is the 17th. So this Saturday at 2 p.m. So during the live stream, basically.
So if you want scripts or a whole bunch of comic pages looked at,
Up to 40 comic pages or thumbnails looked at. You have to do it by tomorrow. No, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the critique stream is on the 24th. Yes, the 24th of April. So, yeah, get in on that. Why does it say critique stream like 3 times on my calendar? I'm gonna fix this. No, I'm not gonna fix it. Okay. I don't know what it's doing. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I don't want to damage my calendar. Did I mention I got more mice?
Oh yeah.
Don't tell my mom, but I have 2 more mice.
Tell my mom.
They're little lads, and they're scared of everything. They're so tiny. They're like the size of my thumb. Like, they're so small. Do you have to be a patron to be in your Discord? No, you can just hop on in. Discord, patrons get like a special section that I usually talk in. And we also have a, what is it?
We have
A weekly hangout
yes.
where we talk on voice chat with people. By weekly, I mean bi-weekly. But it's twice. It's twice bi-weekly, so it equivocates to once a week, but we get a break, and it is confusing. I need to be better about it, but you know.
You are late, D.
SMH.
Disappointed in you.
I almost bought mice last week because of you. I did the same thing to Charlie. Like, everyone's just like, oh man, mice.
They're great. They're so cute.
Yeah.
They're so
Well, getting
lovely.
my boys, I understand why pet store mice kind of suck, but okay, here's my controversial opinions. Okay, normies hate mice and rats and love hamsters, but rodent people have a bias towards rats, and they're okay with hamsters, and no one likes mice. Except mice people. Like, I think normies hate the tails. They're like, ugh. And also, like, a hamster has never invaded their house.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. But, like, rodent people are always like, oh, man, hamsters are super bitey. And all the hamsters I've had are perfectly fine. Like, they're sweet little darlings. Like, I guess it really depends on where you obtain your rodent, to which degree it is bitey. You know, like if they're handled well when they're little tiny jelly beans, like it all turns out good. Like my 2 boys, my boy mice are a lot more timid than my girls. My girls just like all run up to you like a little gang, and they're just like, oh man, Pog, it's food time. Hey, I'm gonna walk into your hands. Time to climb up your shirt. And my boys are like, hide under the substrate. Oh my god. Oh no, a monster is here. Must hide. So yeah, we're working on it with the boys, but yeah. Just get it someone who's handled the little baby mice enough, and they're probably gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're really sweet. They're a lot less cuddly than things like rats. but they're a lot easier to keep.
Mm.
Because, like, a rat, you need, like, this giant cage, and you need, like, 2, but, like, 3 is usually better. It's a better dynamic with 3 rats or more. And, like, yeah, with lady mice, you need, like, 3 mice, but, like, that can fit into a 40-gallon tank or, like, a bin cage. Is it expensive to have a hamster? No. As far as like animals go, hamsters are really cheap. Like a Syrian hamster, you can fit them in like a bin cage. And that's where you take like a big Tupperware bin and you like cut air holes into it and add a little mesh. And it's pretty cheap to set up. And also, hamsters are a lot easier to keep than things like rats and mice because they don't produce a lot of waste. Where like rats and mice create a lot of ammonia, hamsters don't really do that. So if you have like 10 inches of substrate, you can like spot clean for like a couple months and not have to do a change. And like it's usually not really good to do a large change with hamsters because you destroy all their burrows and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I follow all of like the hamster breeders, so that is what I have learned. Hamsters come in 2 types: the ones that die easy. Type 2, they'll survive being sucked up by a. Oh my god, a poor hamster. I had a pet rock and my sister broke with a hammer. Oh my god. Your poor rock. Yeah. No, hamsters are really sweet. I also really like hamsters because they're solitary animals. So you never have to really worry about like social dynamics.
Yeah.
And social dynamics is some of like the hardest stuff with animals. Like I find that rat people the rat people. Ugh, scoff. Rat people. Bones watches Munchie's Place confirmed. I don't really watch Munchie's Place. I follow like I've seen Munchie, but I follow the hamster breeder in our area. So like I spend a lot of time on Facebook groups, and I spend a lot of time in the Ontario Hamster Club, which is silly because I haven't had a hamster in like a couple of years at this point. But man, I am invested in hamsters. What was I saying?
We
Yeah,
got a
social
really great hamster from Strong Brew Hamsters.
Yes. I find like rat dynamics is hard cuz like I think part of the problem is they're mostly feeder animals here in our area, so they're like fed to snakes and there's not a lot of quality pets around here. That could just be my experience. And boy rats are really sweet, but if they have like issues with each other, it can be so hard to solve them. And a lot of the times like they'll need like neutered, and no one warned me about this, and there's not really any neuter people in our area. And even if there were, it's more expensive than neutering like a dog, and it's super dangerous. But it's sometimes like the only thing you can do because you get a really grumpy boy, but they need to be together. And I just hate social dynamics. That's the truth. But it hasn't been so bad with the mice. I mean, part of it is like you don't house male mice together. I think in the UK, it's more common to neuter mice. But here, there's like no one who will do it. So you just keep them separated.
Hmm.
It can be like a really dangerous surgery. I think it's also just the different ways that different cultures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because like I'll follow like UK people, and they're always talking about like their mice and like getting them neutered. I think there's like 2 people who do mice YouTube. Like, yeah. Meanwhile, I think in the US and Canada, there's like a huge snake culture, I think. Like, I don't know how big snakes are in the UK, but they're really big here. And so most of the rodents you get are like for feeding snakes. So they aren't really healthy. And the ones that they keep are usually ones that are just pretty looking and don't necessarily have a great temperament. And then there's the added fun part of being in Canada, and it's even more sparse to find cool animals. Oh, damn. It me. Night boot. Would you ever want a lizard/reptile, or are you really not a reptile person? I have a reptile. I have a blue-tongued skink. I'm not really much of a reptile person. I got a blue-tongued skink. I enjoy him, but they're not my favorite thing. I like fish. I'm a fish person.
Bones is a merman, confirmed.
I'm slowly learning what pets I like. I like dogs.
Yep.
I'm definitely a small dog person more than a large dog person. Snakes eat mice. Don't get a snake. I don't mind snakes, and like maybe I would do them, but yeah, like I know they eat mice. I would be fine with it. My dogs eat like cute animals too, like chickens.
Yep. Yeah.
I would get chickens, but yeah, I eat chickens too. Wow. I'm a small dog person.
Was not big. Vito
My
was
dog-
4 pounds.
Okay. The answer is that I can't stand Matica and Serena. They're far too large for me, and I can lift them. They're like 40 pounds, and they're not even that big, but they're too much for me. And when they die, I'm only getting small dogs. I like cats.
Mhm.
I've determined I'm probably like a cat person and probably not a rabbit person. I don't think I'd like having rabbits. Like, I occasionally look at rabbits and I'm like, man, so cute. I do want, but I don't actually want a rabbit. I think one of my problems with having like a rabbit or guinea pig is they need like constant food, and I'm really good at forgetting to feed people sometimes. Especially like I'll like run out of food, and with the cats and stuff, you can just be like, here, have this thing that I found in the fridge. Or the dogs, you can be like, well, I guess you're eating what we're eating tonight.
Yeah.
Because we need to order a new bag of kibble. Like, I wanted a snake a long time, but I didn't like the idea of having dead mice in my freezer with my food. No buying another freezer. Well, I mean, that's fair. No, you won't forget my roommate's guinea pig would rattle her cage and screaming for more food. It's more the problem is, like, I'll run out and not buy something new. I mean, I don't want you to get the impression that I'm not feeding my animals. But, like, there's Al, who I need to feed, like, once a week.
Yeah.
Like, he's the one I forget to feed the most because he needs to be fed the least. But he's fine. He's no poorer for it. He's not emaciated. The mice have to be fed every day, and they're really fun to feed because I just throw it at them.
Here, peasants.
Yeah. I had a rabbit when I was 5, and that ran away. Oh no.
You're stealing my
Sorry.
thing.
I'm
He stole my microphone.
I'm sorry.
He pulled it away.
I like fish though. Fish are fun.
Fish are
I like shrimp. I have a tank full of shrimp. I'm hoping that they the population explodes and I have 100 shrimp. That's the goal. Here, peasants. What's peasants? So working at a pet store at that time. Then one day a kid came into the store and said he found a rabbit in the neighborhood. My dad won't control rabbits he bought for my half sisters for Easter. And my stepmom made them stay outside and they started to breed. Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah. Rabbits are treated like they're hamsters, but they're more like cats and dogs. Okay, I don't think they're as bad as dogs, but they're as bad as cats as far as like taking care of them goes. And they're expensive vet bill wise. Same with ferrets. Like ferrets and rabbits are a lot bigger of a commitment than the pet store would make you think.
Mm-hmm.
I made a pamphlet about rabbit care. Amazing. I need to make a cute pamphlet about mice care for when I'm breeding mice and releasing them into the world.
You're gonna say the wild. I was like, don't do that.
Be free.
No.
That's literally the intro. They're not like hamsters, they're like cats. Yeah. Yeah, basically, right? Big commitment.
I don't remember how to draw Dennis.
Oh no. Been a long time.
What does the boy look like? I keep drawing him like too young.
I think part of the problem is he's also like got a cut up face at this point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, small dogs get a bad rap, but they're lovely. I love little dogs.
People are just rude. Okay, there's always like the fight about like small dogs and small dog owners. I don't think small dog or big dog owners are any worse or better than. Oh, that's my controversial opinion, actually. Oh my god, so many controversies. Okay, my controversial opinion about dogs is that small dog owners and big dog owners are equally bad, but people get mad about small dog owners because of sexism. That's my hot take. Is that there are tons of macho, annoying people with large dogs that cannot control them. To varying degrees, and sometimes it can get a much bigger problem because a big dog can do damage. But little dogs are seen as something that women have that they do not control.
Yes.
Like, yeah. I don't like big dogs that jump. Yeah, there's big dogs that jump are awful. The people who are like, oh, my dog is so friendly, and it just doesn't respect boundaries at all. Like, I think across the board there are good dog owners and bad dog owners, and there's a tendency to be like, well, small dogs are actually the worst because the owners don't become... It's like the dog whisperer type people that are like, oh, you're not alpha over your dog. That's why all these small dogs are so emotionally damaged. And it drives me crazy. Yeah. So, like, that's always my hot take. Because people are always like, it's actually the small dogs that are bad. And it's like, no. Part of the thing is you're not going to see a lot of the big dogs that are awful out on the streets, because a lot of big dogs that are awful just end up stuck at home all the time because they never want to walk them because they might hurt someone, so that they end up just clamoring inside. You know, some of the worst dogs are like huskies, just because huskies are really difficult to take care of, and you know, then they just eat your entire house because they're bored.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a dog, the best dog to get low maintenance wise is a small dog that's stupid. Stupid dogs are the best dogs. Everyone's like, I want a smart dog. You know, it's the same with like any animal. They're like, I want a smart one who can learn tricks and do all this stuff. But if you don't have the time for that, like you have to keep that brain like active. Like when you have a smart dog, if you're not giving them enough to stimulate their brain, they're gonna tear up your couch because it's fun and it's something to do. Like stupid dogs just sit in the corner, blink one eye at a time, and they're just happy. They're just vibing, you know? And if they're little, you can just pick them up. You can be like, all right, you're not following, let's go. Like Fado is not a smart dog, but I love that about him. You know, Madoka, hi Madoka. Madoka knows when I'm trying to trick her. Fado does not know when I'm trying to trick him. You know, like I have to go through a whole shebang if I'm trying to convince Madoka that I actually have a treat. Whereas Fado like will always be like, well, he says he has a treat, he must have one. Madoka's like, prove it. You've lied to me before. And so I like pretend to take it out of my pocket, and she's like, yeah, I've seen that before, you know? And that's her and Serena. They're just too smart and they're too large, and it's so much trouble. I hate people who walk their dogs off leash. Yes, you shouldn't walk your dog off leash in non-off leash areas. It's a big problem here because we, like, some people, like, on trails, with horses, they'll have their dogs off leash, and that's dangerous for everyone involved. Because, like, one kick from a horse and your dog is dead. And you could also, yeah, like, a horse is gonna be scared of that. You know? It's just... Ugh, jeez. It drives me crazy. Fado is lefty sock box. Oh my god. So true.
Well, it's so annoying with like off-leash dogs, is because their dog runs up to yours and they're like, "Don't worry, my dog's friendly," and it's like, mine's terrified. Like Serena is so nervous about meeting new dogs that she like tries to climb up you when one runs at her. So it's so frustrating when like an off-leash dog comes running up.
What is helpful? Okay.
Bless stupid animals.
Like, oh my god, yeah, off-leash dogs. My thing is though, like, when you have two dogs that like really want to see each other, and they're like on leash and they're like pulling, it's like usually better to like just drop the leashes and let them go, because like you always like the tension can make them crazy.
Yeah.
And they're already focused on each other, so they don't run off. Oh, did I talk about when Madoka ran away?
I don't know if you did.
I don't know if I talked about this on stream. Okay, back to the fact that smart dogs are the worst. So, oh my god, they're the worst. Okay, so we don't have a closed backyard yet. We've never had a closed backyard. We're eventually going to have one for the first time, and it's going to be amazing to let the dogs out. However, I sometimes will let Madoka off leash, like not even off leash, just like drop her leash and let her go pee so that I can handle something else in the meantime. And sometimes she comes back because I have a treat, and like that's usually how like I get her to come back. I'm like, "Do you want your treat? Like, come back." Eventually she gets bored of the treat and doesn't want to listen to me, and she'll look at me and then be like, "Nah, I'm just gonna leave actually, and I'll see you later." So I let her off leash, and I think, well, she's never left the yard before. Like, she doesn't even know where the exits are. Well, I was wrong, because I let her go. She looks at me, she sniffs around, and then she makes a beeline to the exit. And I'm like, well, crap. My dog is gone. So I'm like, Ursula, go let Fado in because Fado's off leash, but he's stupid, so he doesn't know he's free, and he's just like enjoying his time. So like Ursula goes and gets Fado, and I go to the front and I just can't find her, and I'm just looking out on the street, and we're close to the highway, so I'm like part of me is like, oh my god, she's gonna die, but another part of me is like, no, she's smart. She doesn't walk onto the street. There's got to be somewhere that she wanted to go. So I walk down, and I live like really close to my mom's house. And my mom has a dog, and Madoka has played in the backyard with that dog. So I checked there, and I didn't see her. And then I double back, and she's sitting on my mom's porch, just like at the door, like waiting to be let inside. So yeah,
She's like, hey.
that's why smart dogs are the worst. They know what they want, and they're gonna get it.
There's so many times where you'll be like, Madoka, come here, and she'll look at you and run off. And you're like,
Yeah, well, the thing is, she does that too. Like, she'll look at me, and then she'll go off and do her own thing. She's ran away another time when I was at the other house, and she looked at me, and she left. And then I went to find her. I stared down the row of houses, because we lived in, like, a townhouse kind of thing. So I see her, like, 7 houses down, sniffing in someone's yard, and I'm like, hey. And she looks at me, and I'm like, could you come back? And then she ran at me. Like, oh man, I'm home now. It's fine. I got to sniff. You know, she knows that if she's bad, she can go do the sniffing thing and we'll catch her. But, like, who cares? I got to sniff anyways. Like, I don't care if you're mad at me. Like, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I don't like yelling at them or doing anything like that. And, I mean, the good part is she is pretty smart. And, like, I worry when she runs out because, like, it is dangerous. And, like, I try to do, like, everything I can to make sure she doesn't do that. But she also, like, she's walked around. I do loose leash. She stays on the sidewalk for the most part. I'd be worried about her going to the post office, the post box where we like to go, because there isn't a sidewalk and we walk down the road, so she would probably think the road is fine. But yeah, she's at least aware of her surroundings. Like,
yeah.
Fado doesn't know what's going on. Like,
You blink one eye at a time.
yeah, he doesn't know. He's constantly underfoot. When he's about to get run over, he freezes and lets it happen. Like, yeah. So stupid dogs are great because they never run off. They're just living their life.
Serena once, it was when we were in the middle of our move, and Bones' mom came over, and she opened the door, and Serena just like bolted. She just ran past her, and started running down the road. And so I ran after her. And I was like looking down the street, like, where did she go? And then she comes back around the corner, just running full tilt. And then a guy came down the road, and I think she'd like run up to him and like jumped on him and then came running back.
Oh my god.
She's just so hype.
Yeah, she's gotten better. We're working on, like, because part of the problem is, like, we moved to a new house, so they didn't understand, like, what thresholds they're not allowed to go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, you know, it's what you got to teach them, because, like, at the old house they know which doors they're not allowed to go through, so it took a bit to, like, teach them not to run through.
Yeah.
And the way you do that is, like, you have to give them the opportunity to, like, escape and show them that they shouldn't do that. Like the gut instinct is to just try and, like, squeeze past and hold them back, but that's just an accident waiting to happen, because, like, they're like, oh man, if I do it right, I'm gonna get through. But yeah, putting them on leash and giving them a treat for waiting, and then you leave them. Yeah, I find, like, with puppies, like, a lot of the stuff people teach them is silly. Like, people want to teach their dogs to give high fives, which is cool and easy. But, like, more important things like impulse control, like, that gets put to the back burner. Yeah. Anyways, I like dogs. I'm surprised the cats don't walk on the counters. I don't know what I did to teach the cats that they're not allowed to go on the counters.
I don't know. I don't know what we did. But they don't do that anymore. I saw a ghost on the counter one time.
Can you talk? My voice is broken from talking.
Sure. I get scared when I go to my aunt's house because they have an older dog that's pretty big that they just let loose and roam around, and they have a long driveway that people come up at full speed. Ooh, yeah, I'd be scared for the dog.
Yeah.
Hi, Ania. Welcome.
I always get scared for like birds and rodents when people have like videos of them like hanging out with their cats.
Yes.
Cause like even dogs, I'm like super about. But like cats, man, like the thing with like cats is like one scratch is usually like a death sentence for like a rodent or bird because they have like a bacteria that's really dangerous to them. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not a fun meme. You know, gotta care about all your animals' safety.
Exactly.
And like it takes just a little bit to like get your little like the little prey instincts to go and snack.
Yep.
Yeah.
For real. Hi, mouth.
I mean, some cats are really lazy, but like, yeah. I always see posts with cats with reptiles and I always get slightly scared. Yeah, same. Yeah, like I know it's like an individual thing, but like it's like a weighing of like costs versus benefits, and usually it's not. There's no benefit to it. My aunt just got a baby ferret. Really difficult trying to supervise the ferret and the cats because the cats are terrified of her, but the ferret isn't aware of the cats. The cats will stalk her.
Oh no.
Oh, when we first got like Fado, the cats were stalking him. Our cat Molly stalked him. And it was like, what are you gonna do to him? Because he was like tiny, he was like hamster sized. So I was like worried she'd do something. But she just wanted to play. And then
Yeah.
they played all the time. It was so cute.
They run around together.
R.I.P. Molly.
Molly was such a good girl.
We got Molly too.
We did.
Amalthea is so much like Molly.
I know. She looks like, because Molly was a calico and Amalthea's like a white cat. So it
Yeah.
looks like Molly's ghost.
Yeah, Molly's ghost.
They look so similar.
And we call Amalthea Molly because
Yeah.
like, but with like an A.
Yes.
Molly.
Molly.
Amalthea. Thea.
I love Maltia.
My rabbit stalks the dogs.
I'm going to submit a 20-page comic for critique. Do you want drawings in a PDF or Google Drive?
I don't care.
Either is fine. Whatever's easier for you.
If it's art, then PDF is usually fine. Like if there's any text and I have to read it, just make sure it's embedded so that I can highlight it and read it. I mean, I guess I don't have to anymore because I have a magical program that reads
True.
words, but yeah.
I wish I was a dog.
I wish I was a fish.
Yeah. Does anyone have more comic questions?
No. No more comment questions ever.
Yes.
This is now a
comic
dog
question-
channel. Ask your dog questions.
No. Don't listen to him. He's a fish man.
Can you turn the lights on? It's getting dark in here. Making her leave. You're so like down low in your webcam. Tiny Ursula. You don't even have like a crop top today. Like, why are you even worrying? Would you rather go to the moon or to the bottom of the ocean? I mean, the bottom of the ocean would be more interesting. The moon's just rocks.
Less explored than the moon, isn't it?
I don't think so. Maybe. I don't know. The moon is rocks. Like I don't care. I'm not a geologist. You know, I like animals. There's no moon animals.
I feel like in either of these situations, I'm being forced to go against my will. 'Cause I don't want to go to either of those places.
I think the ocean's neat. So I've been trying to think of comic ideas, but all my ideas have gone nowhere. Any advice? Go somewhere with them. I don't. Sorry. Sorry. I don't know.
What do you mean by going nowhere? Is it like you run out of ideas? Is it you get bored of the idea?
Do you have any tips on... Okay. Do you have any tips for kind of like making these things make sense and showing things better in comics without dialogue? I know you guys did one, so I thought just to ask. How do you make things make sense without dialogue, Ursula?
You have to really, one, you have to be really expressive with like your characters. You also have to be really, I feel like you have to choose subject matter that you can show through just visuals.
Also, an important thing to remember is there is a visual language.
Yes.
You know, there is a language to visuals. Visuals mean things. They have meanings because of previous uses throughout history, you know?
Exactly.
Like different colors have different meanings, like different shapes have different meanings. There's like visuals have language, and
yes.
comics create kind of like pace through that as well. Ursula, take it away with more information on the visual language and how to use it. Like, what are some examples of that?
Some examples would be like, like camera angles, like how you present, like how you look at your subject matter. So like if you're looking at it from above, it makes the subject look really small and like intimidated or scared. Whereas like if you have your camera below, then the subject can look big and imposing and scary. With shape language, for example, like designs for characters and buildings and all that stuff, like if it's very like pointy and jagged, like it can mean like evil, villainous, cunning. Like there's a reason like people make foxes out of triangles a lot for really like stylized foxes.
But if you make a little round fox, he's soft and cute. Ooh woo.
It will.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, where circles are more like soft and approachable. Squares are very sturdy, things like that.
You can learn a lot about telling stories by learning a lot about like animation and film. Like don't take everything from
Yeah.
them, because you can there's people who move from animation to comics and tend to lose some of what comics is, what makes comics unique. Like with animation, you're showing every single still, every single movement, like, it's like all the in-betweens and all the this and that, whereas comics, you have to pick what moments in time are important. Like that's most of what telling a story through comics is. It's picking the most important moments in time and displaying them.
Because motion in comics happens in the gutters.
Yes.
So,
yeah, between each panel, motion has happened.
yes.
And it can be billions of years going by, or it can be a millisecond going by. And you have to determine, like, what is important, what gets cut out. Do you need a billion years to go by? Or is each second of this important? Like, you can create a sense of, like, time. Like, what is it? Like, if you show a bunch of panels, like 3 panels of someone tying their shoes, it makes that moment in time stretch and feel longer, and that's like how pace occurs. And you have then highlighted that this isn't a very important thing. So obviously, like, maybe in your comic you're not gonna worry about tying your shoes, but maybe setting something down is important, or like a reaction is important and needs multiple stills from the same thing. But also with comics, you have to think about the dynamic of the entire page and what that looks like. And that can be difficult.
Totally. I'd also say, yeah, just be very, like, clear about what you're showing. Because when you have dialogue open to you, you can talk maybe about more of, like, a concept. Like, say you have, like, magic. Like, let's say you have this amulet that, if you touch it, you turn into stone or something. I don't know.
Right.
So you can have characters talk about it without turning someone to stone if you have dialogue. But if you have no dialogue, you need to show, if one character's passing information to another one, like, don't touch that, I'll turn you to stone, you need to be able to show that somehow. And you could do that a whole bunch of different ways. You could have, like a, what is it? Like a...
What is it?
I'm trying to... You could have, like, a thought bubble or something of, like, a diagram of someone being turned to stone with it. Or you could have them point to a statue of someone who was, like, touching the amulet and they've been turned to stone. Like,
yeah,
something like that. You have to really think about the visuals and what you're telling with them.
Yeah. I always think of paneling and pages like what is that word? Sentences and paragraphs. Like, I always imagine, like, a page is a paragraph and each panel is a sentence. And within the panel, like, all the elements are the words. Like, it's not a direct thing, but, like, each panel has its own story, and that all comes together in the form of a page.
Yes.
Like, each of these has their own little arc to them that needs to be told, and you need to know, like, what needs to be said in each panel, and when that comes together, what does the entire page say? And you can do that without words.
Totally.
And you can do it with words, and sometimes you do it with both because you're doing it correctly.
That's the thing, too. It's like, just because you do have dialogue at your disposal doesn't mean you shouldn't have the setup of this room full of statues of people who have touched the amulet.
Exactly. Then you can do double duty.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I think that's good. I think that's a good answer. I've been trying to stretch things out a bit more so the clips are a bit longer.
Full transparency.
Yeah.
Ah.
How do you get your creative juices flowing to help with comic writing? I play Project Diva. I play a lot of Project Diva. You know,
Also, hi Ace.
for me, comic juices, I usually need to listen to music. I struggle with starting things. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, I have a lot of trouble getting into the writing zone, and it happens to me randomly. I am possessed by some sort of writing spirit whomst lives in my general vicinity and like takes month-long vacations. And like I have no clue how to harness it. Like, I'm the worst guy to ask about this. But like, when you do feel creative, like, take advantage of it. Like, that's
Jump on it.
yeah, just go for it. Like, I find when I'm stuck on things, I'm either avoiding it or I'm actually stuck. So the best way to test if I'm avoiding it is to like actually try. And if I actually put in a concerted effort and nothing occurs, then I need to get back into creativity. And like, the first thing on the menu there is, am I eating food? Am I well rested? You know, am I drinking water? You know, are there bills I'm avoiding paying and that's causing stress and making me unable to write? Like, all of these things, like, start with the essentials and figure out what's going on.
Go in your hierarchy of needs before you get to creativity.
And then I will start working on getting like inspiration. And that can be listening to music or getting involved in some sort of media. Because like, when you read books, I find you want to write books.
That's true.
Sorry, I'm just watching a mouse who was on his wheel, but he was climbing the outside of it.
Powerful.
Anyways, yeah, so yeah, and then I just watch a bunch of stuff, get inspired, steal a bunch of ideas, and do some power writing. Like, occasionally just check in and see if that has happened for you, and eventually writing will happen. And if it doesn't, just don't be a writer, because like, you know, if you can't get any writing done, it's not worth it. Like,
It's
if you're
worth
not
your
enjoying
pain.
if you're not enjoying it, writing is not worth the pain, guys.
You're not gonna make money off it.
Ace, hello. I was in the middle of answering something. How do you go about setting the tone for a romance? I was wait, I wanted to check what was happening with the Patreon question. I was wondering, I would like to get my work reviewed, but I don't have a ton of funds. So can I stay in Patreon? Is there no way? Is there a way to guarantee that I can get reviewed? Oh, no, yeah, it's not a raffle. It's, you pay $8 and, you get your critique in by the deadline. And if you miss the deadline and you're only doing like 1 month, like, you could probably talk to me and I'd be like, oh, it's okay. I'm a nice guy that way. But yeah, it's $8 and you're guaranteed to get stuff reviewed. There's a bunch of rules for it in the on the Discord. On the top, there's like the critique rules. Anyways, Ace's question is, how would you go about setting the tone for a romance comic? Like, how would you show it's going to be a romance at the start? Ooh, that is a good question.
So.
Oh, Ursula's got an answer. Ursula's the writer today. Ursula is a romance reader, so she definitely knows this a lot more than me.
I read many romance. It's hard because not all romances, like, they don't always center.
There are a lot of subgenres to romance, and you have to know which one you're writing in.
Yes.
First and foremost, because some romances are going to be a lot more sultry,
yes.
Others are going to be a lot more cutesy, And the way that you would probably want to introduce how would you introduce it? Like, you want to have like your tone be present. If it's going to be a cutesy romance, you're going to want to show some cutesiness. You're going to want to hint at there being a want for love, or the opposite. Your character starts in the story and they're like, "Ugh, I'm not interested in dating anyone," because that clues people in that they're good. They need to date someone.
Yes.
Because if they're not into it, they're like, never. You know, if they're being all tsundere, that also cues in romance readers who are like, okay, I see what's happening here. Like, tonally, it just depends on what kind of romance you want to write. I write horror romance, so I have a very interesting tone that I set up.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you just gotta hint that a romance is going to occur.
Totally. And a lot of romances will start, because you don't necessarily need to start your first scene like you have your meet cute with your two characters who are going to fall
Oh yeah,
in
definitely
love.
not the first scene
Like,
anyways.
You want to set up like your main character and like what their deal is and introduce the story and stuff. But like a lot of romances will start with like a character's just gone through a breakup, or a character is being is thinking about like, oh, my sister got married and like everyone's asking when I'm gonna get married. Like, the plots will usually involve romance without...
Oh my god, it's like Warm Face.
Yes. Totally. Where it's the romance where she's angry because she's making a wedding cake.
That's not even really a romance, though. I mean, it is a
Well,
romance. Like, her plot is a romance.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, Warm Face would be such a good romance. I love Frankie and Sally.
It's so good. Bones, write this.
Frankie is my boy.
But yeah,
I know the main plot of that is interesting, but sorry, I'm off the... Continue answering the question.
Anyways, you can bring in romantic elements without you starting off with the main characters like meeting and having romantic chemistry. That is a way to clue in, though, is if your characters meet for the first time and they're giving each other like bedroom eyes or whatever, or like, you know, they look at them and like, oh man, he's cute or whatever.
Could a main character's parents be pushing him to get married be a good first scene? Yeah. I think that would be a good first scene. I think that's a really good first scene. Like, you'd probably want to set a nice backdrop for it, because otherwise it's going to be a sort of like boring scene. But yeah, like, just add some layers to it and it'd be really interesting. I don't know what I mean by that. Like, I guess it depends on like if he's into getting married or not. You know, like if he's not into it, like, he could be trying to like accomplish something else while his parents are bothering him, and he's like, I'm busy. You know, like,
Yeah,
I don't know. It depends.
totally. Don't want to put words in your mouth.
Please meet with this matchmaker person's son.
He's like, Mom, I'm trying to finish college here.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be a good
Whatever it is.
starter for a
Yeah.
romance, I think.
Totally.
How does one horror romance? Oh, we're gonna horror and romance. Asking for a friend. Okay, for me, my horror romances, romance is usually like the secondary plot to my main plot. Horror is such a big genre, but basically you set a romance thing going on with characters. You know, they meet and they like each other, but also everything is terrible and horror is occurring around them. You know, it's just, you add a backdrop of horror to it.
They can trauma bond together.
Yeah, they can trauma bond together, and you know, you can always add a not happy ending to it as well. That's like a good way to make horror happen, because horror tends to be a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's one of the few genres that is popular and still can viably be a tragedy. I think sometimes, yeah. like there's not a lot of tragedies that aren't horrors today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean there's indie stuff or whatever.
Yeah, but of the main genre.
Yeah. I love tragedy because tragedy is where you write the reverse of a story of like the like tragedy is where you write the reverse of the 3-act structure almost, where they like try to obtain their goal and like they continually succeed at failing until the end where they fail, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they have their like tragic flaw and it undoes them
Yes.
instead of overcoming it. Because usually they start in a good place with a tragedy where they're good. They have their tragic flaw, but then they're like they keep running up against it and failing more and more. As opposed to the other one where they okay.
Yeah, where they
Well,
run up against their flaw and learn from it.
yeah, because they always they go to the end and they like super like succeed. Like they have a low point, which is their high point almost, where they're doing like amazing, and then because they haven't overcome their flaw, they fail.
Huh.
Yeah, and it ends in tragedy. Anyways, what's going on?
The main character is a thief, so I could have him actively stealing something while talking to his mom on the phone. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
kinda-
totally.
It's like, I'm kind of busy, mom.
Yeah, you want to set up that it's a romance and set up your character. Like that's the
Yes.
two things you want to do.
That's a really cute intro.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Their character flaw is their downfall. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, exactly. I'm just thinking about Hamlet and how indecisive that boy is.
So indecisive.
God, relate to Hamlet too
Kind of
much.
scared with you talking about a horror tragedy while working on Magpie.
Everything goes fine in
It's
Magpie.
fine.
Okay, listen, it's all good.
100%. Really good.
I mean, some horrors don't end in tragedy.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of any because I've only watched one horror and it was Cabin in the Woods,
Yeah.
and that one ends in tragedy.
Mhm.
I mean, it's like they win, but then they ultimately lose in that one.
Yeah, exactly.
Macbeth, yes. Oh my God, Macbeth, that loser,
I'm
so
trying to think of
paranoid.
Horror with happy endings.
Well, not even happy endings, non-tragic endings.
Sorry, non-tragic endings. You're right. Because usually, yeah, it ends with.
Because like Madoka Magica is a tragedy,
Yeah.
even though it kind of has a happy ending.
Hmm.
I don't know. War movies are good and tragic. That's true.
Yep.
Things based on real life are allowed to be tragic. I heard somewhere that Hamlet and Othello traded places. Both plays would end in one act. Oh my God. Would you recommend going to art school? I'm interested in becoming a comic artist. Okay. We didn't go to art school, and we have 3 dogs in a house, so
So that's my argument.
checkmate. I also know people who also have 3 dogs in a house and did go to art school, so
Yeah.
there you go.
It totally depends.
But they're boomers. Take that into consideration.
Art school is very expensive, and there isn't a guaranteed reward.
If you're in a place where art school is free, heckin' go.
Oh, go. If it's free, go. Or if you have the money from like family or whatever, do it. But if it'll possibly crush you in debt, maybe try just putting a portfolio together and trying out for a few jobs first. We did go to an arts high school, so we did get some basic fundamentals, but you can learn that online, honestly,
Yeah.
for free on YouTube.
Most you get out of art school is connections,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can get that other places. What I did instead of going to art school was I went on a cruise.
Yes.
It cost like $2,000.
Yep.
And I got to hang out with like a bunch of like I talked about this before, but like I got to hang out with like all sorts of published authors and learn from them, and it was super cool. And I made a bunch of connections with all sorts of other people who went on the cruise with me, and it was really great. And a lot of those people I'm still friends with, and
yeah.
they support my Kickstarter, and it's great. And if
should.
you can't afford a cruise, you can go into our Discord and become friends with people and start your comics.
Totally. Just go to conventions, join community stuff. I mean, obviously in the after times, but you know.
I went to community college. Some of the art teachers I had were teachers from 80K a year school at our community college. It's only 10 minutes away. Yeah, like community college is good.
Yeah.
I think the hot take is if you want to go into like higher education, get into something other than art. And not because backup plan, just because it'll be in, like, find something else you're super interested in and bring that into your art.
Heck
Because
yeah.
all sorts of artists have gone to art school. Like, some of the coolest stuff comes out of people who have other interests, you know?
Heck yeah.
I think art is probably better as far as like schooling goes, but like writing, God, just get something interesting, because you're gonna learn how to write, because you have to write essays and stuff, and then just write on the side and learn a whole bunch about something else. And if you do fail, then you have a backup plan. What I want to know is how the heck you get art internships after being out of college for a decade?
That's a question. I don't know.
I don't know how art internships work.
I don't know how internships work.
Yeah, you just gotta be related to someone who has a position for you. It's nepotism. That's
Yeah.
the real answer.
Hi, Infinite.
And also, I always say this, but
Hi,
like,
Rose Petals.
I always say this, but if there is like a grant or a scholarship or anything, and it's directed at like queer people, people of color, whatever, don't tell yourself that you don't need it and you don't need like pity money or whatever. Like, just go for it.
Just get it.
Okay, there are disadvantages that are gonna be at you all the time, so don't feel guilty about accepting like benefits or whatever, because trust me, like all the cis het white people, all those lads, like they ain't looking a gift horse in the mouth ever. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, what are you chasing after internships if you're 10 years out of art school? Just go for the gold. Go for some high-paying jobs.
They always say you have to be a full-time student and a recent grad. I know like 10 different programs. Yeah, just get a job. Okay, sorry.
That sounds mean, but
I don't mean that like dismissively. I mean like chase down jobs.
yeah, submit your portfolio to these places. Don't just go for their internship programs. Like, baby, you're worth it.
Because I got no skills. You do got skills. You have a
do.
comic that you have out there.
Heck yeah.
You just need to like write it down fancy on a resume. Like, you have skills and you 100% can get a job.
Heck yeah.
Again, you know, this is what I'm saying about like, it's usually like boys, lads who feel all confident and will apply to like every job because like they don't feel like they can get rejected. But like, no, like get out there and apply to all the things. Like, second guess yourself once you're on the job and they're like, okay, you're gonna do that animation for us, and you're like, yeah, and you quickly Google how to animate. Like, that's how you get an art job.
That's how you get a job. Like,
Your first job, lie your way through it and get it. Okay,
heck yeah.
lie confidently. If the job says it requires that you understand Photoshop, you say, yeah, I know Photoshop, and then you study in the meantime.
Exactly.
Before getting an interview. Like, if it's your first job, like, just go for it.
If you at least meet like 2 of the requirements on the job posting, go for it.
Yeah. Trust Ursula. She works in HR.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. She does art, but she works for like a company that does like all sorts of stuff about jobs. So Ursula knows about jobs. She's a qualified lady who understands the job market.
I sure do.
Yeah. She lied confidently. Yes, I definitely know how to use vectors. Exactly.
Exactly. They're like, do you know how to use InDesign? And I'm like,
I see all of your art skills, and you can get through these doors, okay?
literally.
Like-
you guys, you're just as qualified as me, as I was when I first got my first art job, as I am now. Like, you're all just as qualified. You just got to get your foot in the door by just going to every single opportunity you can find.
Like, if you haven't got your foot into a door, like, try as many doors as you can.
Kick at all the doors.
Kick every door. And, like, you're not at the point where you get to be choosy about what job you get. Like, I don't mean, like, get a job that's terrible
Yeah.
and doesn't pay at all, but, like, any job is better than no job because you get to put it on your resume and hop to the next job. Like, as soon as you get a crap job in the art industry, work on it the best you can and start looking for a new job, because you're 100% more likely to get a job now that you have one with the experience. Yeah.
If the door kicks you back, who cares?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, a job that's interviewing like tons of people, and they interview you and they reject you, or they send you an email and reject you, whatever it is, like, they're talking to like hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Generally. So, like, they're not going to remember you. They're not going to think like, wow, that person was a loser. And if they do, you don't want to ever work for those people. And, like, I've gone through tons of embarrassing interviews where I didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and, like, it's fine. I survived. I just found a job where they were nice.
I know what you mean, Farwin, with, like, working on your art and whatnot, like, and social anxiety. Yeah. It's really hard. Like, we're being all peppy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to, like, undercut how hard it is. I just want to, like, encourage you guys and go rah rah rah, because you can't get through the doors if you don't knock on the doors.
Exactly.
And just put your feelers out is, like, another thing. Like, create a network, you know, make friends.
Yeah.
And let the world know that you want a job, okay? Like, let the world know that you're open to freelance, because a lot of people don't assume that you are.
Yeah.
Like, they'll assume that you're happy. Like Ursula was just like, man, I need a job. And a bunch of, like, people we've met were just like, oh, like, I know someone who's looking for an artist, and, you know, she tried, it didn't work out, but, like, eventually it did, because, like, my brother eventually needed an artist for his company. Like I said, nepotism is great, but, like, you can still get that sort of thing by becoming friends with people. Like, it's
Totally.
less likely,
'Cause
but it's powerful.
Because if I'm working as, like, a graphic designer, and then the team I'm on, or, like, because I know other people at different places, because people work at my company and then they go somewhere else, but I still talk to them and I know where they are. And then one of my artist friends is like, hey, I need a job, and my company is either, like, has a graphic design job open, or one of my friends' companies that they work at has a job open, then I'm going to say, hey, why don't you guys look at this person? I know them. They're great. Like, they get their job done all the time. They've got a great portfolio. Like, the more people you know and are friends with, like, they're gonna help.
Yeah. What we're basically saying is try to schmooze your way into Ursula's heart so that she can get you a job.
Yes. I mean, we hire remote workers now, so you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the other thing. Right now is actually a great time to try and get, like, a cushy little tech job where you're doing graphic design, because with, you know, the pandemic and everything being closed, a lot of companies are now hiring remotely. So you can be anywhere in the world, and you can probably get a job where you work on websites and emails and stuff, because, like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be in a physical office to do that work. So go for it and just say, like, hey, I want to work for you, but I have to work remote. And likely they have like the setup to do that now.
I want to be an artist, but I highly doubt my parents will be okay with that because they don't believe a lot of artists have job security. Any advice? Okay, your parents are kind of true on the fact that artists tend not to have like job security. It is a difficult industry, and it's definitely one you want to go into because you're passionate about it. Don't go into comics specifically to make money because you will not. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting money out of comics that is enough to sustain your life, that is like something to work towards, definitely, but it is very, very, very difficult. And if your parents want you to like get into like a different career, like I'm never gonna tell you like to give up on art.
No.
You know, like keep doing art because it makes you happy, and you will eventually make money on it. It might not be the best money ever, but you can eventually make money on it. But I would pursue another passion as well. Like, if sorry, not, what do I mean? Like, if you want to get into art and do an art job, you don't really need specific schooling for it. But I would look into different art fields that do make you money, like
graphic design, video editing,
animation. It's usually not the fun kind of stuff. The more fun an art job sounds, the more competitive it is, basically. Yes. But all sorts of art jobs are fun. It just depends on if you actually like that. You might have like another career out there that you would also have a lot of fun with, and I would definitely pursue that if it would be more like monetarily stable and successful. But don't give up on art. Like, do them both.
Yeah.
And I think you, like I said, especially with writing, you can bring a ton of uniqueness to your work when you do go off and do something interesting. Like someone who is like, what are jobs? Like if you're a firefighter and a writer, I bet you'd make really interesting stories because you would be able to draw on personal experience, you know? Or if you are a veterinarian, you can write what you know. And it's so much easier to write when you know stuff. Because otherwise you're going to be one of these writers like me who just writes about writers all the time. And that gets a little boring, you know? Animation makes money. I guess it depends on where you live. Okay, like I said, animation makes money. You know where it makes money? Graphics.
Motion graphics.
Motion graphics.
Making commercials.
Motion graphics and commercials is where you would get the money in animation.
Yes.
It's, again, like, look at what's fun. You're not going to make money.
Becoming a showrunner, like, you're not going to make money. And it's very competitive.
Exactly.
I guess you do make money when you get into it, but it's competitive. Yeah. But something like making commercials and doing like visual effects.
Yeah, visual effects and stuff. Yeah.
There's money there. Same with like graphic design. There's money there.
Animation. Ursula actually got, speaking of like getting jobs and learning them later, Ursula got an animation job and she was paid really good money for it. It didn't go through, but she was still paid for the project.
Yep.
But yeah, she was doing animation for a commercial. She'd never animated in her life. But someone came to her and was like, "Oh yeah, like we'll try you out. We have an ad company. Like, yeah, like do some animation for us. Are you able to do it?" And Ursula was like, "Yeah, of course I can animate." And it was very stressful, but she made money and did an animation.
Hell yeah.
And got paid to learn to do that. Yeah.
What is it? Sewing your parachute as you fall or whatever?
Yeah, knitting your parachute.
There we go.
Yeah. Luck Factory and careers can just wake up one day and smack you in the face. Yeah.
For real. Like, but just be open for it. Because, like, that animation job, like, I had someone come to me and be like, I have a friend who wants to do this. Like, would you be open to it? And I could have said no. I could have been like, no, I can't animate, and said no. But, like, if that option is there, give it a try. the worst thing that happens is they're like, they don't pay you, and well, that would suck. But yeah, whatever. You just take the next thing that comes up.
Thank you so much for the advice. No problem. Yeah. Like if you like there can be money in art. It definitely has like a ceiling to it, but like
Yeah.
if you also have a passion for something that is like more successful, I would 100% do it
If you love
because stability is lovely.
if you love comics, but also programming, do program.
Yeah, do programming.
comics on
Pursue
the
the
side.
programming. 100%.
100%.
Go really hard, retire early, and do your comics.
Exactly.
Isn't After Effects hella expensive? Well, that's what
That's Adobe.
yar.
R.
Yeah, you know what I mean. How do you keep your stories consistent? Okay. Well, I guess we're done talking about careers for a while,
Yeah.
but yeah. I just want you guys to have health care, okay? That's
Please.
my thing, okay?
I want to take care of your body.
I want you guys to be like the best you can, and the system sucks and it's really hard, and it's not your fault most of the time if you don't succeed in it. But I want you guys to try your best, and yeah,
Oh, 100%. Like we say all this stuff, but like
like it's no personal failing if you don't have a job
No.
or anything.
exactly, because
No.
there's so many barriers in your way, like systematically.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a failure if you don't have a job right now, or if you're having trouble applying for jobs and stuff.
Also,
Yeah.
shout out to me who cannot hold a job because like God, I am so lucky. Okay, that's my other backup plan. Be cute and find someone who makes money and attach yourself to them. Okay?
Marry them.
Okay? Because like I cannot hold a job. I'm terrible at it. Like I can do graphic design, but like being at a 9 to 5 just like kills me. Like I did it for a couple of years and I just wanted to die every day. So yeah, I stopped because I was like, like I like working, so I could do that. And I was like, okay,
I could
cool.
be the breadwinner.
And then I was
fine.
like, yeah, a boy is allowed to do the dishes and stay at home.
That's right. Thanks for the live stream. I'm a huge fan. Thanks for watching.
Okay, casual question. How can I tell my parents not to read my gay fan fiction? They found it.
No, that's my fear. That's legitimately a fear I have.
I have no clue what to do.
Oh, just say it's like personal writing that you want to keep private.
I don't really like when people start drama in the art community. Wait, whose drama are we starting?
Oh no,
I
are
don't
we
wanna
starting
start-
drama?
Please don't.
Please no. Yeah, I don't like drama either.
Tell them it's private. Yeah. This is me. Job just kills you.
Why do that?
Why do that?
Get yourself
Exactly.
a sugar mama or sugar daddy or
Yeah.
sugar envy.
If you're good at being cute, use that to make your money.
Yes. And
Oh.
make you makeover. Exactly.
If you're good at commissions, get good at drawing furries. That's how you make money. Isn't it?
Yes.
You get into the furry commission market. That's where it's at.
They found it on the internet.
Oh my god.
Why were they looking at your fanfic? How did they know it was you? Someone mentioned an art guy who is like,
Name dropping artists in his video titles and usually a bit rude.
oh,
Furries pay good. Yeah.
they do.
Yeah, D&D commissions too. That's what I'm saying. We need to make the McKay and Gray Commission Collective.
We do, so we can advocate for each other's prices.
Yeah, we gotta create a McKay and Gray Commission Union. Okay.
Let's do it.
Y'all can all organize it in the Discord, and you can like set everyone's rates, and we can all like lift each other up.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. And unite. Let's go.
I bragged about one of my fanfics getting 1K hits, and they were like, "Oh no, family, stop! Don't support me like this."
That'd be super interesting, actually. I just keep telling you guys to do it because I'm not a commission artist. I feel like commission artists should all unite. I mean, I know it's like impossible to get all of you to unite, but like, if a bunch of you did it, like, you could help up your rates together.
Exactly.
NFTs, I don't know what they are, but they sound stupid.
Yeah.
There, that's my opinion.
I agree. Same. They sound silly.
They sound like they're for heterosexuals.
100%.
I do $1 commissions on
Up
Ko-fi.
your rate,
Get out of
friends.
here. You need to join the commission collective and get that to at least $15.
Come on. You deserve way more money than that.
Community over competition? Exactly. Let's raise the ship together.
Let's do it. Listen, Beeb, you are a writer who has over 100K hits on your fanfic. You deserve more money for your hard work.
Exactly.
Oh, hi, Matic.
But Beanie Babies, you can at least cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
Guys.
Making a union would be cool. Actually, right?
Yeah.
Could protect each other.
I don't know anything about unions.
Me neither. However.
However, I want you guys to figure it out for me. $1 commissions is highway robbery? Exactly.
Exactly.
It's Ko-fi, price of a Ko-fi. Coffee is cheap out here. I live nowhere.
Listen, get yourself the fanciest coffee on the menu.
Exactly.
You deserve that triple shot mocha frappuccino with extra sweet. Like, come on.
You need 15 coffees to share with your comrades. Come on.
Exactly, come on. What if you want a muffin with your coffee? Hello. You gotta eat too.
How do you make sorry. How do we make sure our story is consistent? I have a story idea, and no matter what I do to change the plot, I feel like it's just laced with loopholes. I have no clue. Sorry.
Do you mean like plot holes?
Plot holes? You always have the best advice in your videos and streams. Aw, thank you.
Aw, thanks for watching. I want to start low so people will buy. No,
No.
no, you gotta value yourself more, Beeb. You deserve more money. Basically, if you raise your prices, you weed out the crappy people who don't want to pay you anything,
Yeah.
and you get the nice people who know what know what art is worth. You don't need pro.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't need to be pro to change your price. Like, you're still producing work. You're still skilled.
What
Even
you-
students deserve money.
Okay, what you do instead of doing $1 commission is you make a sticker sheet and you put it on Redbubble or something, okay?
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Find something that you can just post a link and sell it. Okay? And then keep your commissions at a reasonable rate.
Yeah, definitely
Make stuff
recommend that.
for yourself or don't. Okay. Art should either be free for someone as a gift or it should be full price.
Yep.
And full price is your discounted price and your actual price okay. Here's the secret, okay? Your sale price is your price, okay? Your sale price is what you make money off of. And then you have an actual price. It's like what the clothing stores do, okay? Everything is constantly on sale. You have a sale price, and then you have, like, an imaginary actual price. That'd be really cool if someone paid full, but, like, you don't expect them to. Like, you have those, too.
Totally. If you're like, I want to make like $50 off this little sketch,
Yeah.
What you say your price is, it's normally $70, but it's on sale for $50.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
100%. Yeah, that's what you do. Yeah, guys.
Oh no, Farwin. Your parents supporting you, but you post not safe for work art. How dare.
I upped my prices, but I haven't got any commissions since then. Pro salesman energy. Yeah. I'm terrible at this kind of stuff, but like I know part of like my issue is that a lot of like the art people I hang out with are in like tech and stuff and get treated well, and then I see you guys being treated like trash and I'm like, what the heck, stop. You know.
Yeah.
And like in tech you're not even treated as good as you should be. But still, yeah. I need to advertise my commissions more, but it's hard to juggle with personal projects. Oh, 100%.
Oh, for sure.
That's why I got Nightbot, because I forget to tell people about things.
Thanks, Nightbot.
Because everyone's be like, you have a Discord? You have a Patreon? Yeah, we do.
That's the thing about advertising is like sometimes you feel like a broken record and you're so annoying, but most of the time people have no idea that you do stuff.
Yeah.
Because someone has to see some. It's like I have no idea if it's true, but I always hear that adage that's like someone has to see something 7 times before they digest it mentally.
Yeah.
Any tips to grow an art channel without putting myself through hell? That is the 100 Days of Comics challenge.
Nope, no idea other than that.
No idea.
I don't know how to run an art channel. I'm really bad at it.
I'd say just post regularly and
Share it outside
Share
of YouTube.
Yep. Yeah, because honestly, that's that
Clickbait,
clickbait titles.
good thumbnails.
Yep.
I'm sorry I'm not answering questions, but like I think the stream ended.
Oh, you're right.
It's like way past the time that we stream normally.
Oh, dang. Well, I guess this
'Cause
is
we
the
started
end.
at 6:30?
6:40.
7, 8. Yeah,
So
okay, we did it. We've done like 2 hours.
Well, dang. I guess we'll
I
have
don't want
to
to kill my voice. I started chewing gum. It's like,
Oh, dear.
yeah.
Okay. We will see you next time. We'll answer more of your questions on Saturday at 2 p.m. EST. Make sure to be there.
Yeah,
We'll answer more art questions
exactly.
and writing questions.
100%.
Yes. But thank you so much for joining us. And thanks for hanging out with us. It's been fun. We will see you guys.
You got the
later.
notification late because Ursula never gets me stream things before stream actually happens.
Hell yeah.
You can blame YouTube, but you can also blame Ursula a little bit too.
can blame me a little bit.
As a treat.
It's okay.
Okay, goodbye. I love you guys.
Bye.